What's up everyone and welcome back to Rob's Gaming Table. Today on the table we have another KeyForge tournament video for you from the Dragon in Milton, Ontario, brought to you by these supporters that back the channel over at patreon.com/Rob's Gaming Table. If you'd like to donate to support the channel, you can do so by clicking the link in the description below. On the left we have Jay, on the right we have myself. This is the third game from the Dragon Archon tournament. The final video of this series. I have more coming up, so make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for that. We have a Headhunter on the left to start, and then it looks like a Round Table Protectrix, and he's wearing a Protect the Weak upgrade. So I've got some extra armor there on Protectrix, some extra power. So he's a 6-1, I believe. And I'm sitting on 2 amber, passing it over to my opponent here for his second turn. So it sounds like he's naming Brobnar here. Smash coming in. Slightly exhausted. I was watching the FFG stream yesterday. They're streaming every Thursday. It seems like they got KeyForge streams going on. If you haven't watched them, go check them out. They played the new set Age of Ascension deck against a Call of the Archons deck. So they spoiled a few cards on it. But there was some comments made about the half-exhausting cards like that. And they called it lazy exhausting. And we see Jay is a culprit of that. So it looks like I have my own double smashes coming in here to throw some extra stuns out. And I throw my own Headhunter on the board. He's got a grenade snib out there that can be destroyed and lose 2 amber from the opponent. So we got some Brobnar versus Brobnar action happening here. I didn't mention, but on the right side here, I'm using Sanctum, Brobnar, and Untamed. And on the left side, he's got Brobnar, Logos, and Shadows. So my deck is definitely has quite a bit of raw amber generation, I believe. And the board control is pretty decent since it's all big beefy dudes. But amber control very low on this deck. It was more of just a rushy deck. And I noticed when I kind of slowed down and didn't play it rushy, that's when I had trouble winning. So interdimensional graph played there on a library access turn. So he's going to get an amber off that. And if I forge a key next turn, he gains all the remaining amber. And he obviously draws a card off that. So now a Phase Shift, one of the best cards to have in hand when you're doing a library access. So he's allowed to play 1 non-Logos card this turn. He'll also draw a card for playing that Phase Shift. And the card that he plays that is non-Logos this turn will also let him draw a card, because it's just letting you draw cards every time you play a card. Now is he sitting on a Wild Wormhole? Oh, Coward's End is going to be the card he's going to play out of that is not Logos. Destroy all undamaged creatures. Gain 3 chains. So we have a board wipe here. Yeah, looks like he's throwing his chain tracker off the side there, but we'll try to keep tracks here. See if he takes his chains each round. So he drew a card off the Coward's End there. Does he have any more Logos cards to play? Looks like he does in hand. You can kind of see. Yes, Positron Bolt. He's curious. He asked me basically if he can play it when there's no creatures to damage on the board, but of course he can. You do as much as you can, and he gets the amber for playing it and draws a card. And another Phase Shift, and there he's being too honest for me. He's trying to show me that he's playing a second Phase Shift and it's not the same one. And I guess this was a few weeks back, and I guess early in the game you'd kind of expect not to have multiple Phase Shifts in the deck, but we know otherwise now. And a Gauntlet of Command hitting the board as a non-Logos card played. And he's going to draw a card off that. So it looks like a great library access turn so far. He just needs to get some board build up here. We got a Titan Mechanic coming down, drawing a card from that. And yeah, not a bad turn getting through his deck there. So he's got a Gauntlet of Command and a Titan Mechanic out on the board. So keys are -1 cost right now with that Titan Mechanic being on both flanks. Oh, I messed up here. I thought he had 6 cards in hand, and he didn't need to draw, but he has 5. He needs to draw, so he will lose a chain. So 1 chain down. He's got 2 chains left. Now, he didn't drop as much of a board as I assumed would have happened after that Coward's End, him doing that early in the turn. I expected him to just kind of flood the board after, but... So I'm not too far behind on board, but he does have 3 amber. And, oh, it looks like we forgot to do the grenade snib, so we just caught it there. So I do lose 2 amber when grenade snib left. So we did catch it there. So he's at 3 amber, I'm at 0. Let's see if I can get a board going again here. While I'm deciding what cards to play, I want to make sure you reach out to your local game store and get them to start doing chain-bound events as soon as possible. I noticed a lot of stores in my area aren't really doing them, so I reached out to my local game store and they started one last night. They changed the format last minute just so they could do chain-bound. And yeah, it was a good time. I want to start earning those amber shards, so I think it'll draw more people into the game if we can get them recording their wins and losses for decks and earning amber shards for prize walls and that kind of thing. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, search up chain-bound events on Google for KeyForge and try to get your local game store hosting those. So we got Carlo Phantom coming down and a Nexus. Obviously a Shadow's turn. Bad Penny thrown down there. So Pawn Sacrifice is going to sack Bad Penny. And he's got to do 3 damage to 2 creatures. So obviously 1 is my smash, and he's going to hit the Titan mechanic. And Carlo Phantom, I believe, is every time you play an artifact, he's able to allow you to steal 1. Nexus is every time you reap. You can use an opponent's artifact as if it were your own. So me having my own Gauntlet of Command out there is not going to be good with Nexus being on the board. So I should try to get rid of him ASAP. So Jay is now on 4 amber and 4 creatures on the board to my 0 amber and 1 creature that's living with 2 power left before he dies. So I'm going Untamed, Dust Pixie, one of my favorite cards. Hitting the board, getting me 2 amber. A Niffle Ape can ignore Elusive and Taunt when he's fighting, which is great looking across and seeing Nexus there with his Elusive. And I believe Carlo Phantom is Elusive and Skirmish, I think. Yeah, he is Elusive and Skirmish. And yeah, each time you play an artifact, you steal an amber. So Cooperative Hunting here for 3 damage. I have 3 friendly creatures, so I'm able to distribute that 3 damage on creatures as I see fit. Could be my own, if I cared. Good way to get Dust Pixie off the board if you're holding a Regrowth in hand. So Nexus is going to get all 3 damage, get him off the board. I don't want him using my Gauntlet of Command against me. And we got Nature's Call, getting an amber, returning up to 3 creatures to the owner's hands. So Dust Pixie is the first one, and then we'll do Bad Penny and Carlo Phantom. Maybe clog up my opponent's hand a little bit, maybe force him to go Shadows if he wouldn't have next turn. And of course, Dust Pixie's back. Looks like I'm up to 5 amber. Couldn't get to the 6. Wish I could have got to the 6 there to put him in check, but... Oh, actually, he is in check with Titan Mechanic being on the board. So I am in check. Let's see if I remember this. Keys only cost 5 right now with Titan Mechanic. We got Grenade, Ward Drummer coming down, then a Grenade Snib. And he's going to ready and fight with Gauntlet of Command. Grenade Snib is going to hit Smash. They'll kill each other. I'll lose 2 amber off the Grenade Snib, so I am no longer in check. Jay saw to it that I'm not forging a key there. So it sounds like his chains are gone. So we have Curiosity. Gaining an amber destroys each scientist creature, which hits the Titan Mechanic. It looks like I don't need that Titan Mechanic anymore to make my keys cheaper. Gonna throw it away on the Wolf, which gives my Niffle Ape Skirmish. And he's gonna fight into the War Drummer, not take any damage back, of course, having Skirmish, and Dust Pixie will reap and put myself in check, finally. My opponent's at 4 amber. Neither of us have a key yet. And it sounds like he's going shadows again. Carlo Phantom coming back, of course. Bad penny. Anything else? Looks like he's got an Urchin. Yeah, there's an Urchin to steal. And, of course, he gets me off of the key. And puts him at 5. We're tied at 5 amber here. Long journey here to get the first key on either side. So, second Dust Pixie has made an appearance. Putting me at 7. Trolling my opponent Jay, who hates the Dust Pixie. So, just figured I'd taunt him with it a little bit. Carlo Phantom and Dust Pixie go at it. Oh, looks like they're not after I realize he has Elusive. Might as well just use Niffleape to sneak past Elusive. I think Carlo Phantom is the one. I don't need him stealing my Amber, so... Yeah, it's got to be Carlo Phantom. No damage back. He has Skirmish with Way of the Wolf. Gets through Elusive and Taunt. Carlo Phantom hits the discard pile. And I'm sitting at 7 Amber. Get a little worried to go ham here and just add more Amber to the pile. Especially with him having Shadows. I don't know if he's got too much to protect. I don't think we exchange deck lists at this point. A lot of tournaments I go to, I kind of don't exchange deck lists earlier in the game. Unless my opponent wanted to. I don't kind of initiate it. But now I've started doing it as the tournament's getting a little more serious. And players have had more time to play their decks and that kind of thing. So, but at this point, I have no idea what he has in his Shadows lineup. So... He also has Brobnar, so I could be sitting, walking into a burn the stockpile, having 7 or more Amber. But I'm sitting at 8. He's at 5. And he's got a hidden stash, which will gain him an Amber, and he gets to archive a card. So he's obviously going Shadows again. And a second hidden stash. So he's now at 7 Amber, archiving his second card. And we got Relentless Whispers dealing 2 damage to my Dust Pixie. And if it kills it, he steals 1. And he'll gain Amber also from playing Relentless Whispers. Putting him, looks like, at 9 Amber. And he's going to reap going up to 11? Oh boy. So he's at 11. I'm at 7. I get to forge a key for 6. And I beat him to the first key. But he is definitely close to getting his first key here if I can't do anything about it. So it sounds like Brobnar. I'm going to play Anger, gain an Amber, ready and fight with a friendly creature. I'll choose Niffleape and take out the Urchin there. And Gauntlet of Command to do the same thing again, but hit Bad Penny this time. She goes back to hand. My opponent Jay here trying to cheat and throw her in the discard pile. I know that's where you want her to go and where she should go, but nope, she's got to go back to hand. You have to discard her from your hand on the Shadow's turn to get rid of her. Yeah, that's right. Taking a jab at Bad Penny. I know the people are divided on whether Bad Penny is good or not, but I think it's situational. Yeah, it looks like a little bit of capture there with an unguarded camp, having 2 creatures. I get an Amber off unguarded camp, and then since I had 2 creatures in excess of my opponent, I'm able to capture 1 Amber per creature, and that's how I got 2 there. So he does. So yeah, Silent Dagger out there. Let's reap, deal 4 damage to a flank creature, I believe. And he's now a check with 7 Amber. Just want to give a shout out to all the people who watch these videos, mainly, I guess, from the local area. I'm sure I'll meet more of you at Gen Con and other tournaments, but I do appreciate you coming up and saying hi, and let me know you watch the videos. It's definitely motivational for sure to keep me going. But I just want to say a shout out to all the people who come up and say hi, who watch the videos. It's very humbling. All right, so we got a play and capture on rating night. Ezekiel comes in, readies him up so he can fight. Bad penny back to hand, loses a silent dagger, of course. Looks like I discarded a card there. Not sure what that was. But he's still at check, so I think he'll be forging here. Yeah, he did forget to forge a key earlier, I thought. Like, he spent it, but he didn't flip it. So now he's on his second key. Okay. So he's on 1 amber. I'm on 3. I've captured one of his on my rating night. So I'm behind on the race here. So it sounds like he's going Logos. Starts off with a Doc booked in, a Bat Drone. Doc booked in's got the Reap, draw a card. Bat Drone's got the Fight, steal one, and Skirmish. And that's going to be it. Did I see an Anomaly Exploiter in hand he didn't play down there? That is a Logos artifact, I believe. Action, destroy a damaged creature. I think I saw in his hand. I don't think he just drew it, but surprising if he didn't play it. I'm not sure why. So take hostages, gaining an amber every time a friendly creature fights, captures an amber. Sequius coming in, he's got Reap, capture 1, Protectrix. We know he's Reap and then heal a creature. And if you did heal it, that creature takes no damage for the rest of the turn. So we're going to fight Bat Drone, get him off the board. Capture 1 with take hostages from the fight. I don't take any damage back since he's got 2 armor, which is now broken for the remainder of the turn. So I'll fight. Since I have round table, Sergeant Ezekiel is actually a 5, +1 power, and as taunt. And then I'll get hit back. And see, he'll take 4 because of the shield blocking one of the hits from Doc Bookton. And since he's +1 power, he only has 4 damage on him, but 5 power. So until your damage equals or greater than power, you're not dead. So if he gets rid of that round table, Ezekiel will die. Or if he hits Ezekiel with 1 more damage. Speaking of absorbing damage, we have Shadow Self hitting the board with Bad Penny riding alongside. Shadow Self able to take the damage that his neighbors would normally take. We got Duskrunner on there. Reap, steal 1. So when Shadow Self reaps, he'll be sucking up my amber. And that early library access looks like it's getting Jay down to a couple cards left in deck. So he's already cycled through his deck here. So I need to hurry up. So Sequius, another Sequius with Reap, capture 1 in play. So I'm going all Sanctum all day here. So we got Protectrix doing a Reap, getting me at 5. And healing up Sergeant Ezekiel, all that damage he took. So since he was healed, I was thinking he doesn't have to take damage, but then you look at Shadow Self and he doesn't deal damage while fighting, so I don't have to worry about getting back if I fight him anyway. So I'll throw 5 on Shadow Self, making him more than halfway to death. I just need to throw 4 more damage on him. But I could Reap. There's none to capture, but I will just fight, get Shadow Self on the board. He could be trouble later, especially if a higher valued target drops down beside him. That could lead to that target being on the board for longer than I would like. So might as well get rid of Shadow Self. Puts me in check. I'm at 6, so still good. As long as you get yourself in check to kind of threaten the next key, and you get to fight and control their board, I think that you're in a good spot there. But it's hard to tell if 6 is the right number to be at or 7. So we got another Gauntlet of Command hitting the board, and a War Chest. And a Valdir who gets +2 power, I believe, when fighting creatures on a flank. So If you have an 8 body on the flank, she can take it out. But he's not getting any amber this round. Sitting at 2 keys and no amber. 2 of it on Raiding Knight. And we got 2 Sequus on the board. And if they're allowed to stay there for a bit, they could, you know, take any amber he does gain while they're reaping. And he's got a Khalifi Dragon in the deck that he chooses to discard. We know it's a Windmore card. You need 7 amber to even play that thing. But once it gets on the board, if you don't have a way to deal with it, it's got 12 power. It will start destroying your board and gain an amber at a pretty alarming rate. And loot the potties for the remainder of the turn. Anytime one of my creatures is destroyed, he'll gain an amber. Yeah, so even Sequus with the 5/2 power and armor. Valder hitting for 8 does break through the armor and kill the Sequus there. And gains an amber off loot the bodies. But 5 hits back on Valder, so she is 1 away from dying. And I do forge a key for 6. So we're tied up here. 2 keys to 2 keys. He has had an amber, technically. But I'm about to do my turn here. And I don't see why I wouldn't name Sanctum.
Sorry, yeah. No worries. Oh, yeah, sure.
I trust you, but it's just
No, got it.
So it sounds like I'm going Untamed instead of Sanctum. Flaxia, get me 2 amber since I have more creatures in play. So a good time to play her. Fuzzy Gruin, give my opponent an amber, but I also get 2. So maybe I have a way to get to being in check here with Untamed. That's why I'm going this way. Ancient Bear. And we got a Regrowth for an amber. And I'd probably go hunt one of those Dust Pixies back into play. So I'm at 5 amber right now. And just taking a look at my other creatures here, see if there's anything in the other houses or even an Untamed that might be good in this matchup. But I just need to get to the key before him. So Dust Pixie coming into play, putting me at 7. And look at that board. And he's staring at a Grenade Snib in hand. He has drawn through his deck now. He's drawn a few cards out of his deck after shuffling. So we know he's got 2 Grenade Snibs, so I'm most likely going to see those coming into play soon. Yep, he's named Brobnar, trying to get me off a key. 2 Gauntlet of Command, so he's able to throw the Grenade Snib into play. So looks like a smash coming into play, so I get to stun a creature. I'm trying to trick him into stunning his own guys, but Jay's too smart for me, doesn't fall for it. So Fuzzy Gruin getting stunned. And we got a Grenade Snib. So he's triggered the War Chest a little early. You should do it after you destroy creatures, I believe. It's not like loot the bodies. I think you do it kind of at the end of the turn. But I know what he means, so I just kind of let him go with it.
No, you have to. You can attack all 4 of these guys, but you can't attack their neighbors.
So I'm just explaining taunt here. So I put my taunt line up a little higher with the round table. All these Sanctum Knights have +1 power and taunt. So I'm just letting him know Flaxia and Ancient Bear. You can't fight them unless you get them away from a taunt creature there, or ignore taunt. So he can totally attack my Raiding Knight and try to get a couple amber back. But I'm still on forging a key, so he's got to get me off there. So Valder is... Yeah, Valdir only hitting for 6 since he's not on the flank. Puts him at 4 damage. So he's 1 away from dying. And he's going to throw Grenade Snib into him to do the final hit. Grenade Snib will die, I'll lose 2 amber, and he'll get the 2 back that he captured off the raiding, or that I captured with the Raiding Knight. And 1 less Sanctum body on the board. And he's going to do a Gauntlet of Command on Smash so he can ready and fight. And he's going to fight the Dust Pixie and take 1 damage back. So he's trying to get the best War Chest value here he can, I guess.
Yes, sorry.
And that Dust Pixie hits back for 1. It bites him as he squishes it. So I think he gained his amber off the war chest there. I'm pretty sure. So he's at 6 amber now. And I'm at 5. So he is on check for the final key. Can I stop him here and get myself in check? I have Suckwis on the board. He can capture one. I have a couple other bodies beside him so I can reap. But if he can get me off a key, then I'm in trouble because he'll come back to me. So sound the horns. Gaining an amber. So I have 2 cards left in deck. Discard one, discard the second one. It happens to be a troll, so I got lucky there. I should have looked at my card to see if I had any creatures left, but I most likely was just playing it for the amber. So we got Looter Goblin in play. He's got the Reap ability. That basically, kind of like War Chest, gives me 1 amber each time a enemy creature is destroyed for the rest of the turn. And there's that troll that I just grabbed off the Sound the Horns. So I must have a way to get him off of a key here. Or I just have not realized he's got 6 amber. So Suckwis fights Smash, kills Smash. Trying to see. Oh, I've got an unguarded camp in hand. I think that's what I just saw there. So I do have some control. I'm just trying to reduce the creatures on his board. I think I have more as 6 excess, so I can get all his amber anyway. Ancient Bear gets to fight off Anger, so I get an amber for that. Ancient Bear readies up, does assault on Bad Penny. Bad Penny runs away. And unguarded camp, gain an amber off that. And I'll capture all 6 of his amber. So I'm sitting at 8 amber, hoping he can't get me off of that key. But he has drawn back through his deck. He's looking through his hand right now, seeing if he has any steel. I know he has a couple Archons. But he's going to need a little more than that. And that's going to be it. He realized he's got nothing. Nothing to steal. So I locked him out there on an unguarded camp. Thanks to Jay for letting me film him. Thanks to you guys for watching this video. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. Hit that like button if you want to see more KeyForge. Helps other people find these videos on YouTube. If you have any comments or questions or anything, feel free to leave them down below. And yeah, share these videos on social media. Help other people find the channel. I'd appreciate it. And thanks a lot. And I'll see you in the next one.